Hello everyone, welcome back to another fun tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this Path to Christmas bracelet. I just started to play with bugle beads and this is what I created. And I think it looks really stunning on. It does look like a little path in here, but the crystals, the Swarovski crystals that I used are these gold metallic ones, and I'll tell you what, they sparkle like you wouldn't believe. I'm just trying to put this bracelet on so you guys can have a better look at my beautiful wrist. Or wait, you want to look at the bracelet. Darn. I have such a sexy wrist. Not. I don't even have a wrist. See? I don't have a wrist. It's just fat from here to here. Anyways, you can tell I used a really cheap gold-plated toggle, right? But look at how stunning that looks. Is that not gorgeous? I absolutely love it. Of course, gold is not my color. As you can see, my wedding rings are white gold. My other ring is sterling silver, so I'm not a big fan of gold jewelry. But Christmas in gold and red is just Christmas. To me, it's just, look at this bracelet. It's just an award-winning bracelet. Yay! I love it. I mean, it's so easy to make. So it's so elegant that you wouldn't believe that you just, created that in about an hour. So it's really maybe a little longer than an hour. I'm not sure, but I didn't really keep time of it. And it's really smooth on the wrist. By all means, if you don't like the 4mm bicones in here, if you find they're going to irritate you, which this would definitely irritate me on a normal basis, but for some reason the way that the Swarovskis, the bicones are sitting, it's not irritating my wrist at all. Sorry, that's black eyeliner. I got this tube of black eyeliner that I ordered from China. And it's waterproof. And I've done dishes, I've cleaned the bird cages, I cleaned the bird perch. My hands have been in water like crazy, and it hasn't even washed off, and it's waterproof. But I bought it for Halloween for our costumes, and I think it'll work good because my husband sweats when he gets working. So anyway, just ignore that black mark, okay? Can't get it off. So admire my bracelet. So beautiful. I don't know, I just have the giggles today. But anyway, let me take this off and show you guys what products you're going to need to make it. Now, this here I purchased from Fire Mountain Gems, and they are crystal AB 4mm bicones. There is 144 in this package, and I think I paid $8 to $9 for all 144. I tell you, I did buy a package of, I think it's 48 for the contest of this color in the for the contest coming up, so you can expect some of these ones. That's not all, believe me. My God, when you guys see what I have to give away, you're gonna wonder how I can afford it. Well, I can afford it if I have extra money. I spend it on my stuff for giveaways. And my husband is like right behind me 100% in supporting me on my YouTube, because he knows I really, really love beading, and I think it's a lot of fun. And the more exciting it is to create something that you make and everyone else likes it and makes it, then you know you're doing good. So that's why I like to spend that extra money that I get on beads and stuff that I want to try or I want to give to you guys. So like I said, this is really cheap at Fire Mountain Gems. Now, a lot of places that you go to sell these individually. Now, if you add them up, sure, it seems like a cheap price at 19 cents per bead. But add up 10 beads, there's $1.90. Add up 144, well, there you're already into $19, $20. So this is why I am recommending you guys to check out Fire Mountain Gems, because you are going to love how they it comes packaged in. And you know what? You can tell it's a Swarovski package, and the reason being is this package doesn't feel like this plastic. Doesn't feel like any kind of other plastic that you use. It's a very strong plastic bag, so it's not a normal Swarovski bag or a normal little Ziploc bag. You can tell it's a Swarovski bag because all the Swarovskis I've ever ordered always come in this, if they come in these packages like this. So, like that, okay? Now, I'm going to be using, in here, like I said, I used 4mm Bicones, so I used 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 36 for a size 8 bracelet. So you're going to need 36 4mm beads. It could be Bicones, rounds, whatever. I haven't tried rounds, but I don't see why the rounds wouldn't work. But who knows? I did use these kind of bugle beads. So I want to show you the different sizes that I have, so it'll give you an idea as to what size to buy. So, and then I'll tell you the size of them, so you can see the different sizes. Here is, I think this is the same size as this pink one, but let me just check. No, it's even smaller. Okay. And then I have this size, and I also have a much larger size, but we're not going to bring those out so you can see the difference in bugle bead size. Let me grab the other size. Let me grab one of these little guys. I want to just show you the difference in sizes. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, tiny, tiny, large, medium, bigger, bigger, and bigger. Okay, so this one here is the one I've been using a lot lately, is the 3mm or size 1. So this little tiny one is, let me get my glasses. Wow, I'm as blind as a bat when it comes to the beads. Now this one here is the small one. This blue one here is a size 2, which is a 6mm, the blue. This pink one says 6mm, but it's a check bead. So you can see, wait, you know what? That blue one looks like it's broken. Let me get a new one. Check this out. Yeah, they're both the same size. Okay, so put that away. The blue one is roughly the same size as the pink one. And again, these are Japanese ones, and these are check. Okay, so there's the difference in their 6mm, which isn't a hell of a lot, but it is. Every company has different sizes. They're not all perfect. Now this is the size I used, and this bead here is a size 12. And it's a Miyuki seed bead size 12. So the one that I'm using is this one right here in this silver, and that would be a size 8. As you can see, it's much smaller than that bigger one. So you can use an 8mm. I don't know what the size would be as opposed to a size 1, 2, 3. I don't know, but I just wanted to show you guys the different sizes of bugle beads that you can use. But this is the one I'm using, so this will give you reference to the size to try and order similar. You could even use a 6mm if you want, in a check 6mm. It's a little bit bigger, but it is smaller than that silver one. Okay, so it's up to you guys, but I'm going to stick with this size because I thought it was a perfect size. Okay, so I'll just stick with that. Now, let me put this away. We can't waste any beads here. Okay, so you're going to need a 11/0 seed bead, and I'm going to use, of course, I'm making this bracelet kind of Christmassy in more of a snowflake color. See how it turns out in a snowflake. And the 11/0 that I'm going to use is called Snowflake. It's called Ceylon Snowflake, and it's really pretty and sparkly. You can probably see that in the camera. Gorgeous. You will need a size 12 beading needle. So let me just get these dumped out. And you're going to need Fireline, and you're going to need lots of it. I went through a lot of Fireline yesterday, and boy oh boy, I kicked my ass because I tied it on. Excuse me. And when I tied it on, I pulled the knot inside the bugle bead. That was the dumbest thing anyone could ever do, because I had to fight and fight and fight and wiggle and squirm just to get my needle to go back through there 2 more times, and it had to be in the darn bead. You know, you skip 3 in this pattern, you're skipping 3. It had to be in one of the beads that I had to go through twice, 2-3 times. So that just sucked, but I did it. And oopsies, I made a poopsies. Oh, I can't use this one. This is a 15-0. Wow, am I brain dead or what? Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I wanted to use this snowflake color and I don't have it in 11-0. Oh my god. Let me see what I got for 11-0s. Darn, that was such a pretty color, right? Tell me it was. I want a nice blue. Then, if I can't use white. That snowflake. I don't know why I didn't order that in a snowflake color in 11-0. Why did I order it in 15-0? I don't know. These are all my Yuki Toho, or no, yeah, these are my Yuki Toho seeds. This whole entire container. Okay guys, help me out. I don't know what color to pick. I don't like any of these. Well, I like the purple, but that's not really Christmassy, and I've done so many projects in purple that I'm sure you guys don't want to see another purple one. So let's see what's in this tray of Tohos. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Yuck. It's not gonna look good. I don't want to use silver lined. Oh my god, I don't have anything decent. That's heartbreaking. Hope you guys feel sorry for me. Oh, and you sympathize with me. That's not really snowy, flaky color, but oh, I don't know. It's kind of a rainbow. What do you think of this one? It's almost like it's gold lined. I don't know. Let's see. Well, look at that. It's a broken bead. Well, it might look good. I think it will. So we'll just use that one, guys. Thanks for your help. Alright. And you're going to need 6-pound Fireline. Yeah, 6 pound. Like I said, you're going to need lots, and you're going to have to put on whatever you're comfortable doing. But oh my god, please don't tie knots and pull them inside. I would leave every single piece of thread that you add on. I would just leave it to the very end to weave it in, because this is a mistake that I made, and I learned from my mistake, believe it or not. So please, tie on thread. I'll show you how to do it, because I'm not even going to go off camera. I'm going to stay on camera and make this whole bracelet so I could be with you guys, because I'm at home. I'm finished work. I've done all the bird cages. I've cleaned Miku's perch, and he's just sitting there chewing on his toys and eating his fruits and vegetables. He is such a spoiled, rotten bird, and he knows it. Oh, wow. You're going to need a toggle, and I'm going to use this one because I really think it's pretty. And whoops, I'm way too close here. I think it's really pretty, and I'm using 2 oval Jumprings, and I'm going to stress that you should use oval Jumprings because we're not using any wire protector, and we're going to use oval Jumprings so that when you sew it on like this, it's not going to move around. The jump ring doesn't move around as much, and it isn't going to fall out through your opening if you don't get that super tight seal, like right there where you join it. So invest in some oval jump rings. I'm learning as I create stuff and make stuff. I'm learning that you can't, like, I'm changing a lot of things in the ways that I do things, because it's just things I've learned, that using a regular jump ring and sewing that piece on, you know darn well that your thread could just slip right, no matter how many times you sew it, your thread could slip through there. Even a piece of wire could slip through there. If you get the slightest opening, of the slightest opening there, you are definitely going to have problems. And I don't know if I told you this, but you do need a size 12 beading needle for this project. Do you like my beading needle? The eye's gone. I remember I broke this. Oopsies. Well, I gotta get up and get a needle. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I got myself a size 12 beading needle. Now, before we start anything, the best thing to do to get out of the way, I always like to get things out of the way, is we're going to put our jump rings on our toggle pieces, okay? Just because we're going to be sewing them in, and we could just pick them up and they're already got the closures on them, or whatever, toggle, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to pull this apart, put my toggle on one end, and close it up nice and tight, which I can't see because I'm holding it up in the sky there. Good and tight. Okay, that's really not like centered. There we go. So I'm just going to squeeze this so it's flat, and it kind of locks in place if you do that with your Tia. And I'm going to squish it together. And that one's done. Okay. Now, let's do this one. Ugh. And add our toggle bar. And close this up. Try to anyways. Okay, you guys can't see me, right? Because my camera's falling. There we go. And let's close this one up nice and tight. I just squish them down to push them together like that. So it really seals that nice and tight. And then I give it a squeeze this way to make sure it's good and closed tight. So my thread is not coming out of that. Whoopsies. Oopsies, I went off camera. Sorry guys. I'll try to be more careful. Alright, so I've strung on, and I've left myself a wee tail. Probably should make it a little shorter so we don't have any knots. Left myself a really tiny tail. Let me get comfortable here. Now, first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up one 11-0, one bugle bead, and one 11-0. You're going to pick up another 11-0, a bugle bead, and 11-0 on your needle like this. So this is what you should have. Okay, one bugle bead, two 11-0s, one bugle bead, and 11-0. Like that. Now, in this bracelet, I've counted stacks of 4. So I went 1, 2, 3, there's 4, because that's going to work over our Swarovskis. And the way I did this is I just kept counting stacks of 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, and the last one is a stack of 3. And so when you're making your bracelet, count your bugle beads. There's 71 in this bracelet here. Count your bugle beads in 4s, and then your very last one, for when you're finishing measuring the length of it, only add 3 more bugle beads, and I'll show you that as we go. And The reason we're not going to tie off this last piece on the end, because if we've got too many bugle beads on this end, like I did yesterday, you could just pull one right off. Okay, so leave a long enough tail, which I'm going to do, and I'm wrapping these around my finger, and I'm going to come up through the bugle bead, or the 11-0, the bugle bead, and the 11-0, and I'm going to split those two in the middle. So I'm actually coming out of the middle of those two bugle beads. Okay, and pull your thread through and line them up like this. Now squish them together so that the 11-0 sit on top. That's where you want them to sit. Now you're going to bring your needle and go back into the one beside where you're exiting. So I'm exiting into that one so we can add another section. Now the reason I'm telling you to do it this way is because, and you're going to see the same thing with the crystals, I hate when my thread gets cut by these bugle beads, and it's happened to me many times, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to you guys a few times too. That is why I want all the pressure to be on a seed bead as opposed to being the pressure on just this bugle bead, because I can guarantee you your thread is going to cut. So bear in mind, that is why I'm using a 11-0 on the end of my bugle beads, because I don't want any thread pressure on those bugle beads. So pick up an 11-0, a bugle bead and 11-0. Whoops, dropped it. You're coming out this end, you're just going to come back up through the other end and make a circle and attach this one like so. Okay, like that, and keep your work pulled tight. Now take your needle and go back through the whole 3 beads that you just put on. So, oops, snagged on my pliers. Like that. See? And we have a stack of 3. This camera is just really not there. Now pick up an 11-0, a bugle bead, an 11-0. Wow, that's a crappy 11-0. And now you're going to make a circle coming this way. And you're going to go through your beads this way. And pull. Now bring your needle back up through those 3 beads you just put on, and then give it a nice tight pull. Like that. Like this. This is all the whole entire length of your bracelet you're going to do. Bearing in mind you're going to do it the length that you need it. So whatever size your wrist is, do it in that length, bearing in mind again that you need to leave room for these babies here, your toggle. So if you use a big toggle, don't make a big long bracelet. You know, put your bracelet, try it over your wrist, and keep doing it until you think you have about, if you use this size, you're going to need about 1 inch. And the reason you're going to need about 1 inch is because you always add on length to your bracelet when you're joining a toggle, because you've got from here to here of extra beads in here. Well, it's kind of pretty like that, but it's still it still adds length to your bracelet. So keep in mind that you're going to add a little bit extra. So I would say always a good inch for a bracelet like this. All right, picking up an 11-0 and a bugle bead and 11-0, and just working through, making circles, and going back into the bead. I'll probably have this needle bent really bad before I'm done this bracelet. Like that. 11-0, a bugle bead, 11-0, and continue working in making circles. I keep getting snagged. And I'm actually snagging on my scissors and on my pliers. So I don't know why I don't move them. And if that pulls apart there, just pull it in nice and tight like that. Try to keep these very tight together. So as I was saying, if you add too many or not enough, you can pull more off by leaving this tail. You can just see, it'll just pull off. But you can also tighten it back up too. So 11 0, a bugle, 11, and through your beads, adding it in, and then back down through this bead. Miku, what did you do? You broke your toys. You bad bird. He chews chain like you wouldn't believe. I wish I could show you what he's doing right now. He's bad bird. Okay, and I'm still making my little circles. Like that. I'm pulling it down. I'm going back up through these beads to add another one. Oops. Oops. What's going on here? Really? How do you get a knot like that? Weird. So I'm quite excited about the Christmas contest coming up because I have so much stuff to give away. I'm so excited. I haven't gotten everything yet from Fire Mountain Gems and Auntie's Beads and Beadaholic. Those are my favorite places. I've ordered off of Auntie's Beads, and I got this really cool grab bag. There's a lot of cool beads that were in there. A lot of cool stuff. Even a really pretty wire wrapped pendant. It was gorgeous. And I'm still working on down the line. Doo-da, doo-da. I think I just knotted this. Yeah, I went through it like a goof troop. Okay, but you know what? My camera's gonna die, guys. I'd love to sit here and chat and have coffee with you guys. I'm drinking coffee. I'm a coffee freak. And then there's days that I just can't stand to drink more than one cup. I always get a coffee at Tim Hortons before I go to work in the morning. And then I come home and I drink probably one or two more. But you know what's really gross? I always drink cold coffee. It's sad, but it's true. I can stop at Tim Hortons, get myself a coffee, and it lasts me right till the evening. Because I always buy a large or an extra large, and it's a big coffee. And then I don't need coffee all day. And I drink it cold. Sadly, but I do. And I always waste a lot of coffee too, so I'm wasteful. And we're going through these beads. So I just want to let you guys know too that YouTube keeps track of, they do like an analytics where you can go onto your YouTube channel. And I don't know if I've told you, well, or how many of you have seen that I have posted that I was getting a lot of dislikes. And it wasn't from a random person, it's from the same person. Well, one day a couple weeks ago, this person that I had a disagreement with on iBead for You, I ended up banning her from my channel. And I banned her from YouTube. She can't comment, but she can still like and dislike. Do you know she spent the entire day going through every video and she disliked 68 of them. And this shows me on a daily basis how many dislikes I get, how many likes I get. I really don't know, honestly, if that affects my ratings. Honestly, I don't know. My husband said it does, but I don't know how much it does affect my ratings. Anyways, and the only thing that this shows me is the likes and dislikes and the area, the geography of where these dislikes are coming from. And it's sad to say that it's a fellow Canadian. I'm a Canadian myself, and it's coming from a Canadian. So the next day she skipped. She didn't do it. The next day after that, she disliked 26 videos. So we're almost close to the 100. So in the last couple of weeks, she's managed to dislike every single video. There is no possible way that she sat there and watched 68 videos and disliked them. And the reason I know it's her, it's the only person I've ever had an argument with. Not really an argument. She was very ignorant to me and abrupt. And I didn't dig it, so I banned her. And I took her off of my personal Facebook as well, because that's where she sent me the nasty messages. Anyways, she's the only one that I ever had a disagreement with. And shortly thereafter that happened, I started getting all these dislikes. And it was all because I complained about the 10 dislikes I got, or 13 or whatever it was. So she went and disliked every one of them on purpose, and she's continuing to do that. So every single video I post now, I mean, I don't care. If this is what, she has no life and she's lame enough to sit here and dislike all the videos I put up, then all the power to her. Like, have fun, go to it. It's just sad that some people out in this world are ignorant enough to sit there and click on 68 videos, click it, don't even watch it, just dislike it and switch on to the next. Because I'm sorry, some of my videos that she disliked are 1 and 2 hours long, and there's no damn way she watched all 68 of them. She just purposely did that, and I know she did it because, like I said, she reamed me out for for commenting because I got 10 dislikes in one day, and now she's just continuing to harass me on YouTube. And it sucks because I feel like I'm being kind of bullied by her. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm complaining about it. It's just something to talk about while I'm beating here, but I just want to mention that I really don't care if I get all those dislikes, because I'm sure it doesn't affect my ratings at all, and I really don't care if it does, because I'm not here to make money. Definitely not here to make money like some of them are here to distinctly make money. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to share my talent and have fun with you people, and to keep my stuff free. So, like I said, if she's bored, go ahead. Like, as soon as I put a video up, it's like she watches for it and goes and dislikes it instantly. It's not even up there for 10 minutes and it's disliked. I know damn well it's her. It couldn't be anyone else. And nobody would be that ignorant enough to do something that ridiculous. And I know she lives in Canada. So that's how come I know it's her. Because she was on my personal Facebook. Anyway, that's how much I've got done so far. Not a lot, is it? I'm going to keep doing this. Keep chatting my lips off and my face off and talking to you guys as if we were all sitting in the same room together, because that's what you all say, that you feel like you're in my living room. I wish you guys were, though. Then for sure I'd quit my day job. I would just sit here and bead with all my fans. That would be so much fun, now wouldn't it? We could all have like little bitch fits and coffee and tea and bead and share ideas. Oh my God, that would be so much fun. It would be. But you know what? I really am terrified to fly, so you won't catch me on an airplane. My husband is from the United States. He's from actually San Diego, California. And when we got married, because he immigrated to Canada through me, of course, because we got married. But anyway, I flew down there when we got married, and it was the worst 4 hours of my life, because I had to I had to drive from Thunder Bay, where I live, to Duluth, catch a plane in Duluth, because it's cheaper to fly from Duluth to Las Vegas. And that's where we got married, was in Las Vegas. It was a beautiful wedding. And I flew there, and I told my doctor I was going on a plane, and I'm terrified. So he gave me a pill called Ativan and he told me to take one about an hour before I get onto the plane. So I took one. I was kind of okay, you know, but really not okay. I think I was just psyching myself into believing I was okay, but I really wasn't. Anyways, I made it there. We got married, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And then I was coming back, and I was on the plane. I took my one Ativan prior to getting on the plane an hour before, and then while I was sitting on the plane, I was like, oh my God, I started freaking. I had these two young guys beside me, and they were playing on their cell phones, playing games anyways. I was like, I just started getting paranoid, and I thought, okay, it's time for me to take another Ativan. So I asked the lady for a drink, and I'm not even really a drinker. I don't really drink at all, but I asked her for a drink of rum and Coke because I wanted to take that pill and I wanted it to work fast, and I figured if I take it with alcohol that it would really knock me out and get me rid of me. But the sad part is when I got and landed in Duluth, I knew I had to drive home. And it was like 12 o'clock. And it's a 4-hour drive from Thunder Bay to Duluth. And I had to drive home. Well, I must have stopped, I don't know, 50 times, rolled down my window umpteen times, kept getting out, kept walking around, getting in a bit of the cool breeze, cool air, because I was falling asleep at the wheel. It was horrible. I was dumb, really dumb. But I was drugged up on those Ativans that really are supposed to knock you out, but nothing's going to knock this girl out, I can tell you that. I'd have to probably drink a whole bottle of rum and take those two Ativans, and then, yeah, you'd be dragging me off that plane. And probably in an ambulance too. But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I will not get on another plane after that episode. So the following year, I went to visit him, and I really wanted to see South California. You know, I was like how everybody talks how beautiful California is, and he thinks it's okay, it's beautiful to him, but nothing like moving to Canada, okay? Because he's lived there all his life. There's nothing exciting anymore. It's like, it doesn't matter where you live. Everything just gets boring after a while. So I wanted to see San Diego where he lived, so I wasn't flying. So I drove there. It was awful. My God. It's the most boringest drive in my life, but when I hit the Colorado mountains, that was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I drove there. I left here at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was a Friday morning. I took the Friday off because my holidays were starting. So I took the Friday off. I got there to Las Vegas, which is 3 hours behind Eastern Standard Time. So they're 3 hours behind me. I got there at 4 o'clock, which is 7 o'clock Thunder Bay time, the next day. On my way back, yuck. I hit a major snowstorm. It was October the 3rd in the Colorado mountains, in Vail, Colorado. It took me 3 days to get home. It was awful. And I was only there for 2 weeks, so the weather really changed up a lot in that 2-week period. But it was a lot of fun driving there. It was beautiful and boring. Anyway, my battery is finally dying. It's flashing on my screen, so that means it's going to just quit. Not say goodbye or nothing. I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to go and charge my battery, and I'll meet you all back here when I have the length I need. So I'm going to put 71 on for an 8-inch bracelet, okay? I'll be back. Nice chatting with y'all. Okay, guys, I just want to show you very quickly, because my battery's not that great yet, but I've run out of thread. And if I bored you with my talking to you guys, just fast forward the video because I've done nothing different. But I just want to show you how I'm adding on my new thread. So let me take my fire line and quickly cut another piece. All I did was pulled my needle off, and my thread is about this long. As you can see, it's not very long. It's just a little piece. Well, it's long enough to tie knots. Okay, so if you want to grab yourself some glue too while we're out and about doing our stuff here, I'm just going to pull off another good chunk of thread, because I did go through that whole piece already. I'm just cutting, doesn't matter. I can't tell you how long, I'm just cutting a hunk off. Okay, and I'm going to thread it quickly. Now I want to show you how to do this, just because it'll make your life a lot easier when we are completed our bracelet. There's a piece of thread on there. But yeah, like I said, if I bored you, just go ahead and fast forward the video. I'm not doing anything. I was just chatting anyway. Sometimes you need pliers to pull your thread through, because these eyes are very tiny. Now, I've strung on a nice huge long piece that you guys aren't going to have to look at when I'm working here. But see where my thread is exiting in this bead here? Let me come up closer, because it's not going to really matter. See where my thread's exiting right here? Enter the bead, that same bead, so your tail is exiting in the same place, like that. Because in the end, when we're all done, we're going to thread one of these ends, so leave it long enough. I know you're going to have some tails hanging off, but leave it long enough right like this for now. Do not make any knots or pull any knots in there, okay? And then just continue beading. Hold these in your hand, because you can't pull it tight right this minute until you do a few passes. And then you can start pulling it tight again. But I mean, you know, even if it loosens up a little bit on you, you can always tighten it with these two ends instead of pulling this your main thread, okay? So that's all I wanted to do, was to show you quickly. Leave this hanging, and I'll show you what to do with this when we're all finished our bracelet. And leave it long enough that you can put your needle on and at least pull the knot into one of the beads when we're finished, okay? Okay, so I'll see you guys back here. Okay guys, so I have reached the 71 bugle beads on my bracelet, and as you probably were aware, where you joined your thread, it just keeps pulling apart. Not a big deal. Just keep tightening your tails here and you'll be fine. So now what we're going to do, now that we have reached the end and we're exiting out of the last bugle bead that we put on while we're exiting out of the 11-0, you are going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, you're going to pick up, I've got my crystals ready here and here. Going to pick up 5 beads, 11-0s, on your needle, 1 crystal, 1 bead, and 1/2 of your toggle. Let it all fall down except for your toggle. Hold that aside from your beads. Now you're going to put your needle and go back through the first seed bead here, the crystal, and the next seed bead. So you've gone through, back through. So you're just making a circle on your toggle hoop here. So 1 seed bead, the crystal, and the first one. And then you're going to pull that. Now you're going to pick up 4 more of your 11-0s on your needle. You're just going to come around and make a circle and go right back through all 3 of those beads. Your very last one that you put on is where you're attaching your toggle. And pull. Like that. So you have this. Now you need to reinforce this. So go back up through all 5 of your beads, your crystal and your 11-0, like so. I've gone through them all. Put your needle through your jump ring, and then go back down through your 11-0, your crystal, your 11-0, and then back down this side now. Okay. Oops, I'm pulling the wrong thread. And pull that carefully, and then back through your 11-0 bugle and your 11-0, and then after you give this a nice tight pull, it should lock it into place perfectly like that. And now you're going to go through it one more time because twice is not enough. So I like to go through my work at least 3 times, especially with not having a wire protector in there. So which side am I on? I'm going to go through this way and down the bead here and down this side. And down this side. And back through your bugle and your 11-0. Well, your 11-0, your bugle, and your 11-0. And give this a nice tight pull. Now, you probably can go through this again. It's entirely up to you, but I think it's pretty safe. If you used an oval jump ring, you're pretty safe in there. Okay? So we're good. Now, time to work with the top row. After we get through to here, we can tie this off, and then you're going to use some super new glue or crazy glue or something and tie your knot and pull it in. So now you're exiting out of this bugle bead here. You're going to pick up an 11-0, a 4mm crystal, and 11-0 on your needle like that. You're counting 1, 2, 3. So you're going to, don't count the one you're coming out of. Count, miss 1, miss 2, and go into the third one and come back out through like this. So you're actually working over 4 beads. So sit those on top like that. Pick up 11-0, a crystal, and 11-0. Now go right back into this first bead you exited, your first row here. So it would be the 11-0, the bugle, and the 11-0. And put that on top. Like that. Now go through the 11-0, the crystal, and the 11-0 that you just put on top. Like that. Now go back down into the bugle. Exit through the bugle that you originally exited into and pull that tight. And now your crystal should sit nicely on top like that. Okay, now you're going to pick up one 11-0. You're going to go right into the next group there of 11-0s. 11-0, bugle, and 11-0. So I'm going right into the next one beside where I'm exiting and sticking an 11-0 between that. Pick up another 11-0 and go back now into the one beside where you're exiting and go right through those 3 beads again. So now you're just placed an 11-0 in there. Now go through the 11-0 and back down in here without snagging that 11-0. So you've just sat 2 11-0s in between here, like that. Okay. Now you're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal, an 11-0. You're going to not count the one you're coming out of, count 1, 2, skip 2, and go into the third one, all the way down. And place your crystal on top. 11-0, a crystal, and 11-0. Go back now, skip 1, 2, and go back into the third one. Like that. And now through the 11-0, your crystal and your 11-0. And back down through that group of 11-0, bugle, and 11-0, and pull. So now you've placed 2 sets of crystals on there, like that. Okay. Now you're going to pick up one 11-0, go across into the next one right beside it, and go up. Pick up another 11-0, and go back now into one you originally exited out of. And you're just making circles, is basically all you're doing by placing beads in there. Now go through that 11 and back down and exit in that group there and pull. Okay, nice and tight. So this is what you've got. And if you run your finger across your path, your beads sit on there beautifully. So what do you think of the silver one? Pretty, eh? Except for where it's coming apart here. That's not a big deal. We're going to fix that. So I'll show you one more time, then I'm going to go off and finish this up to where we're going here. Well, I'm going to go right through this part here. And then I'm going to show you how to tie this off and continue down doing the rest of your bracelet. And I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm at the end of my rope. I'm at the end of my chain. I'm at the end of my bracelet. And I had to tie on more threads. So as you can see, I have 2 places I need to fix up. But I have completed putting on all of my crystals. Now, honestly, I don't know if I made a mistake. I don't know what I did on this bracelet, but I had an extra one and I could have swore I counted these and it said there was 71, and somehow here I was missing one. So I had to I just used my tail. I just used this piece here and weaved in another section. So easy peasy. Now we're going to add on the other half of our toggle bar, and that's going to consist of picking up 5 11-ohs. 2, 4, that's an ugly one. 2, 4, 5. A crystal, 1 11-oh, and your toggle. So bring these down, except for your toggle, oops, like that. Pick this guy back up. And you're going through the oval link, right? Now you're going to go back through the 1 11-oh, the crystal, and the 1 11-oh. Like that. And then you're going to pick up 4 more 11-ohs. And then you're just going to go back through the 11-oh, the bugle bead, and the 11-oh like that. And pull this nice and tight. Oops, ouch. And then you're going to reinforce this by going through all your beads again in a circle and up through the crystal. I try to make it all in one pass, and through the jump ring, back down through all the beads, and back down this side, making sure I don't miss any beads. And then I give that a nice tight pull. That's how I do it, quick way. Get these beads out of my way here. And then back through your toggle, or your 11-oh, your bugle bead, and your 11-oh. Okay, and you're going to do this one more time. And you can do it again if you want. Because you're using a size 12 beading needle and 6-pound fire line, you can make another pass through here if you wanted to. Through your, don't forget to go through that jump ring. And tangle this up like that. Yep. Miku's starting to get rambunctious. And it went through there, and now back down. No step up. That's what he's saying. Step up, step up, step up. Okay, so as you can see, I'm down here where the tail is, right here. Now, all you're going to do, let me grab my glue. So what you're going to do here now that I got my glue is tie this end off. So just tie a regular overhand knot, pull tight, and again, pull tight, and then take your needle and go through your bead here, like that. Oops, I'm snagged. There we go. So I've just gone through there, and I don't know if I pulled my knot inside, but regardless if I did or not, I'm going to drop a dab of glue right there at the joint where I tied it. Ugh, can't get this off. There we go. I was snug like a bug in a rug. Actually, how many people really have bugs in a rug? Nobody. Now you're just going to carefully drop a dab of glue on that knot. Let it soak in. You can even pull your tail, pull this, and pull it in. Oops, dog hair. And let it dry for a wee tiny bit, and then you're going to cut it off. So I'm going to cut this working thread off because we're done with that. Don't need to weave it in anymore, but we will need our needle to go back and fix our joints. Almost sounds like dope. Got a joint. I don't smoke dope, sorry. I don't do any bad stuff. I smoke cigarettes, but I don't smoke drugs. Don't drink hardly. I plan on getting hammered this Christmas, just so my husband could see what I'm like when I'm drunk. I'm a hoot. My kids always bugged me for years and years and years and years and years. Mom, you never get drunk. I want to see you when you're drunk. Well, they did last year. And my daughter videotaped it, and I swore to her up and down. I said, if you post that on Facebook, I'm literally going to kill you. She didn't. She did, but she took it down right away because my husband still got to see it. I don't know how many other people got to see it, but I'll tell you what. She's lucky she took it down. All right. So that one's done. So now we're just going to come over here and do the same thing. Take your longest tail and thread it on a needle. Like so. And let's tie another overhand knot. Once around and twice around. Alright, that's done. Now, take that needle and go right up through that bead. Oops. Through your 11-0 or wherever you're exiting. Now, why did my knot come out the other end? Because it wasn't supposed to do that. So I'm going to drop a dab of glue down in there, a very tiny one, and a very tiny one right there. For some reason, that is not healthy looking. Okay, so make sure you fidget with that. Let it dry off a bit. Pull it and pull it. Okay, I'm just going to set that down. Pull my needle off that one. let it dry. And now I'm going to thread it on my final group here of 2. And sometimes, ooh, wrong end. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just leave your tails like this, instead of tying knots in your work where you know you're going to go through that repeatedly and then pull the knot inside before you finish, because like I said yesterday, I bet you it took me a half an hour to get through that bugle bead without breaking it. It was terrible. I was ready to give up and start all over again. But you know what I did? I was using a size 10 beading needle, and I switched over to a 12, and I managed to get the 12 through, and that's how I broke my eye on the needle. So, oh, there, finally got that one threaded. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is dried enough, so pull it and cut, pull it and cut. That one's done. Now this one left. So tie an overhand knot with your needle in your hand. Okay, like so. So this is where we joined it, and we want to really secure this. So I'm going to tie it again. And I think I'm going to tie a 3rd knot, because that's where it's joined in the middle like that, and we want it to be safe. So again, take your needle and exit through this 11-0, because that's where I have to go up the beads, and I'm just going to weave that in. So I'm just going through some beads. Hi, Miku. Okay. You can drop a dab of glue in there if you want on your knot. I don't remember where it is. Oh, there it is. And drop that piece in there, glue. Wiggle that around so it catches. And then go ahead and cut your working thread or one knot off. Cut that one off. And your bracelet, and just push it out like this. Whoops. You just have to go like this, smooth it out, and there's your bracelet all done. So let me put it on. Wow, it's a gorgeous toggle. Well, I don't know, it seems bigger than one I had on yesterday, but that's, whoopsies, too close. There's today's bracelet. Look at that. It is bigger for some reason. Probably because this toggle's bigger. See? I should practice what I preach. Anyways, Path to Christmas bracelet. Really, really gorgeous. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and we had fun chatting and having coffee together. It was fun. I welcome you all in my home. And we'll just kick my husband out. We'll use our all here beading. He can go sit in his coffee booth and have coffee. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful bracelet. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this one too. It's really simple. And I make a lot of mistakes. And I'm not hiding my mistakes from you guys. I just let you see them. So I will see you guys soon on my next video. Have a great week. Take care. Bye, everyone.